Shabbat, don't you cry, go to sleep, little baby.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rick DeShazo. Thanks for joining me tonight for this special series, Premature Parenthood, Mississippi's Teen Pregnancy Crisis. Over the next 5 nights, we plan to look at how Mississippi came to lead the nation in the number of teenage girls becoming mothers. Why did this happen, and how can we stop it? We'll cover many elements of the issue, such as new efforts to teach sex education in the schools. We'll also look at what role, if any, the faith community in our state should play in solving the crisis. And then there are many myths surrounding teen pregnancy. Is this just a black problem? And how much money is there to be made by having baby after baby? Well, we'll find out. And then there are girls themselves, the children having children. What's going on in their minds and in their hearts? What's it like to balance a baby and homework? We'll introduce you to several young ladies doing just that and so much more. And it's with 2 of these young mothers that we'll start tonight. 2 different young ladies with completely different backgrounds, but now living strangely similar lives. Mississippi is a state of contradictions. It's a state that prides itself on its religious and moral background, but it's also one that does its best to hide its problems. For that reason, it's only recently that Mississippi's people have been strong enough to admit that we have a host of problems in many areas. One of those areas is teen pregnancy. Mississippi leads the nation in teen pregnancy and teen births. That's right, there are more teenage girls giving birth in Mississippi than in any other state in the country. Of course, that's proportional, but still astounding when you look at the numbers. One of those girls is 19-year-old Ashton Jenkins. But don't dismiss Ashton out of hand as a stupid girl who got into trouble, because that's what a lot of people do. Ashton is very smart. She graduated from high school with great grades, but trouble at home led her to make some bad decisions.
I was living with my boyfriend. I thought it would be a good idea to move in with him, I guess, and just happened.
Oops, just like that it happened. Well, not exactly.
I mean, I knew how it happened, and I was one of those girls that didn't think it would happen to me, I guess.
Just like that, Ashton Jenkins became a statistic in Mississippi's teen pregnancy epidemic. And like so many other girls, she's going through it without a lot of support from the boy who got her pregnant.
At the time, we had been dating for, I want to say, about 5 months. And then that's when I ended up pregnant.
What was his reaction when she told him?
Scared, nervous, shocked. I was actually at his house, and I had a dream that I was pregnant, and that's what made me take the test. And then he went to drill. He's in the Guard, and he was at his weekend drill, and I called him, and I said, I have some news. And he was like, what? And I said, I took a test, and it was positive. And he just I could hear him kind of tearing up, and he said, okay, I'll call you back later. And then he told me he wasn't happy, but then he kind of came around.
Came around. According to Ashton, the relationship has been up and down ever since, making a difficult situation even harder.
We've been together this whole time. It's been, of course, during my pregnancy, it was terrible. We were constantly back and forth, getting together and breaking up and all that. But for the most part, I mean, he's around.
And that's something that Ashton wants, for her baby's father to be around permanently.
I would love to see me and his father together, and with him so he can have a family, because I grew up in a split family. But I'm not sure that that may be the best answer right now, because I don't think we're ready for that type of relationship and commitment.
A mature statement from a young girl who, by her own admission, was not acting very maturely before she got pregnant. Her relationship with her mom was in shambles, and her days consisted of sleeping and partying.
Just sleeping until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then getting ready to go out that night and just do whatever I wanted whenever. I was just doing everything. That was, I guess, when me and my mom were we weren't getting along very well, and I was just trying to do whatever to make her mad, and I was just kind of going wild.
So wild that Ashton's mom worried every time the phone rang, worried that this would be the call that told her that her daughter would be dead, that this time her daughter had risked too much, had gone too far. And for that reason, Ashton believes her baby saved her life.
He has made me realize that I need to get my life together and find a career and have a stable environment for him. Has definitely saved my life, because there's no telling without him where I would be right now or what I'd be doing, if I would even be alive, probably.
So now the life of this former wild child revolves around 1-month-old Karson, a sweet little boy who already adores his mama.
I feel like I couldn't love anything any more than I love him. He is my whole world. He's adorable. I love him.
Before, Ashton focused on parties. Now she focuses on Karson and diapers and bottles.
I give him his last bottle at around 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and then every 3 hours he wakes up for a bottle and a diaper change. And then if he spits up, there's always outfit changings during the night.
Ashton's life seems pretty full right now, but there's something missing: friends. Those friends that she spent all that time partying with. When she ended up pregnant, they abandoned her.
Before, I had friends that were always up for doing whatever and, always ready to go out and party and whatever. And then when I got pregnant, I couldn't do those things anymore, so they just disappeared. And I still don't really talk to many of my friends. I have 2 that I could call and still hang out with right now.
A sad situation for a girl in need of friends. Since then, Ashton's gained a lot of perspective. She's a much stronger girl than she was 9 months ago, certainly more mature. We asked her what she would say to those girls who abandoned her when she needed them.
I would just say that I could have used the support. And it made it harder not having, people that I thought I could count on and depend on.
But that's in the past, and Ashton has more important things to worry about, namely the new love of her life, her son Karson, and his future.
I want him to have the best life possible and grow up and not make the same mistakes and decisions I made and be a little smarter about the way children come about.
Natalie Taylor could almost be passed over as a stereotype. Poor black girl from South Jackson, got pregnant at 16, had an abusive boyfriend, got pregnant again, and again, and again. End of story. But that wouldn't be much of a show, would it? So let's let her tell her own story.
My pregnancies really started when I was about 16. Had my first encounter with twins. Had those, they were 2 girls. I had them at 6 months. She was, both of them were premature, 2 pounds each. So she stayed in the hospital like 3 months. The other one stayed in for 2 weeks, and she passed. I think she got sick. You know how you have your family to visit, and you know you're supposed to take precautions, how you wash your hands and before you touch the babies. But I guess somebody didn't listen to the rules, and she got sick like that. So she ended up passing. And she was actually the healthier twin.
We should warn you now, Natalie's story won't be an easy one to hear. It hasn't been an easy one for her to live either.
They called me like at 1 o'clock in the morning. And they was like, well, she didn't make it. I couldn't sleep that night anyway because she was sick. But, you know, you pray about it. You're like, well, maybe she'll make it through. But once you get that phone call, reality, you don't know what to do after that. Whether to run away or just cry. And I pretty much cried that night. I was hurt. Because it was going to be 2 of them running around here, tearing up the walls and everything else, but I was only blessed with 1.
With nothing else to do but pray, Natalie did what not many girls in her situation actually do. She went back to school. But not long after, she was pregnant again.
In the 11th grade, I ended up getting pregnant again. And around this time, I was staying with my child's father. We had a little domestic violence thing going on for like 2 years while I was staying with him. So once I had her, I had immediately got a job because he wasn't working and we were staying with his mother. So I got a job. I was working for KFC. My sister actually helped me get the job. And when I did that, I was pregnant while I was working there, but all the fighting and stuff going on at the house with him, I ended up having a miscarriage. And that was a girl.
The domestic violence was an issue for Natalie, one that likely led to the loss of her second pregnancy. It also led to the end of that relationship when Natalie's child's father finally took things one step too far.
The abusive relationship thing is not it. It's easy for you to be up under somebody's car or shot or anything. You know, you never know what's going on through somebody's mind. And he actually pulled a gun on me one time. That was the time I left. I ain't never go back to him ever since. We were young. What are you thinking about pulling the gun out on me? What situation could have made you that upset? We got a little girl. Why? I don't know. I had to leave him for her safety and mine, because you never know. He could have shot both of us while we were sleeping and things. So I left him. It was just that one situation. You got to think for yourself sometimes.
That guy is now not a part of her life, although he does attempt to see their daughter on occasion.
He come around every now and then, every blue moon. Holidays, he'll come around holidays and try to get her, but, you know, she mostly with me and my family.
So, out with the old boyfriend and in with a new one. And with Natalie, this also meant more pregnancies.
The 3rd pregnancy, years later, I wasn't with him anymore. I left him. So once I left him, my next relationship, it was way better. No domestic violence. He was very supportive, and I had my first child with him, but she also came early too.
So that's 3 pregnancies, 4 children, but only 1 living child. Something wasn't right. Natalie was confused and getting more and more heartbroken with every pregnancy.
She came early at 4 months too. She was a miscarriage. Had her at the CMC. Very depressed at that time. Heartbroken. You know, 3rd time getting pregnant, same problem. Didn't know what the situation was until I had my 4th pregnancy with my son. He was 6 months. And he had a very low birth weight, probably because my nutrition, how I was eating, I'm not sure. And he came at 6 months, so he passed 2 weeks later. Once I did that, I was depressed again. You know, you got through your stage, but I really hurt at that time because I was like, oh, he was almost here. My little girl, she was so ready. I mean, she had it down packed. My little brother, he coming home and such. She was just happy. And you got to tell her that her brother's not coming home. It kind of broke me a little bit further, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't have kids. She'll never have a sister or brother. But she's pretty intelligent. She's like, my sister, my brother, he's in heaven with my sister. They playing up there. You know, she say stuff make me smile, and I had to get better for her.
But it's clear that she's not completely better, that Natalie has a long way to go.
It's like losing part of yourself. You have been carrying this baby, and you're like, yeah, the pregnancy's going good. And he'll be here or she'll be here in a minute and be taken care of. We have all these plans, and it hurts. It hurts a lot, especially when you lose them. Especially the type of person I am. I was like, I'm gonna have a baby and we're gonna have a family, and my little girl, she's not gonna be the only child. But right now she's still the only child. But once you lose one, you just be told that. I can't talk about it. It just hurts. It hurts, yeah. It's sad. You have all these plans for a baby and it don't work out. I don't know.
4 pregnancies, 5 babies, only 1 survived. That's a hell of a few years for anyone, but even more for a girl who has basically been on her own for a long time.
I grew up, not that I'm saying, I had some rough times when I was around 15, 16. It was hard. I stayed like in South Jackson, and I have these moments. Well, it was a lot of times. Before I had my little girl, I had to go into high school at Wingfield, stay in South Jackson, no transportation but the bus once they dropped me off. Then I had to find my way back over here to West Jackson to come stay with my sister then, because at my house, I had a lot of problems there. So I had to do a lot of walking and getting rides, catching bus. I had to do a lot. So that's probably why I ain't have so much. Sisters, they was doing their own thing. I got 4 sisters, 2 younger ones and 2 older ones. And, you know, they had kids like at 16, 17. But once they started working, it wasn't pretty much no time for me to talk to them about any type of problems. I mean, except like when they're off work, but they had their kids to deal with. And I guess I just went down the wrong path for a second.
And where to live? The options weren't good.
I moved in with my child's father at 16. It wasn't too bright, but it was my second option instead of staying on the street or doing anything else like that.
But being pregnant was a good thing. It meant better treatment at school, more food, and some kind words.
My first pregnancy, it was good. I didn't have any complications, no high blood pressure, no nothing. I ate very well. I wasn't sick with them at all. You know, they get morning sicknesses and can't keep food down. But them, I ate twice as much. I mean, high school, that's when I was pregnant, but everybody was supportive. Like the teachers, the cafeteria ladies, everybody, you know, everybody was like, here, you gotta feed the babies. And they didn't have any judgment against me, you know, because at Wingfield, it probably was a lot of people having kids, but, you know, as long as you just come back and finish school, they really didn't have a problem with it. They'll let me leave early for my visits with them, all type of stuff. Because once they was in the hospital, I got to leave like 30 minutes to an hour early so I can go be with them, because I had to catch the bus, so.
But since then, the negatives have definitely outweighed the positives. The emotional toll of losing 4 other babies has been very hard on Natalie. Recently, the intervention of a new group of people has made a big difference in her life, specifically a woman named Ethel Chapman. Ethel Chapman is the resource mother for the Interpregnancy Care Project at the University of Mississippi Medical Center. This is a program designed to identify girls like Natalie girls who have very low birth weight babies, and it helps them stop having them. The project provides them with different levels of support.
The purpose of this program is to help them realize that it's very important that they do not get pregnant, that they put spacing between their pregnancies. If they can not get pregnant from 18 to 24 months after delivery, then chances are that they will have a normal birth weight baby. However, if they get pregnant before then, chances are that they will have a very low birth weight babies, which has happened in the past.
The program is a huge opportunity to girls like Natalie. It provides them free of charge with medical care, dental care, and even emotional support in the form of Ethel. They also have monthly meetings where all the women in the group get together and talk about issues that are important to them.
If there's a problem that several women are having, we have group meetings every month, and we will bring someone in to address that problem. There was a problem with domestic abuse, so we brought someone in from Catholic Charities to talk to the ladies. There were babies that were dying, you know, so we didn't get grief counselors. We got somebody from SIDS to come in and speak with the ladies. There are ladies who are looking for a job and they don't know how to dress, or they don't have the proper clothing. We brought in people from Dress for Success, you know, and people looking for a job. We've brought in someone from the Wynn Job Center who would sit and talk with the ladies.
Dr. Irma Welch is a family medicine professional also involved in the program. She provides all the medical care for the women in the project, often for long after the women are no longer with the program.
My part in it is to be the family doctor so that the patients will have a medical home. What happens with patients when they're pregnant, they qualify for Medicaid. But then once the baby is delivered 2 months after that, then they're no longer on Medicaid. And a lot of them, you know, do not seek any type of care after the pregnancy. And we took women who had had very low birth weight babies, and that made them eligible for the project. And if they chose to participate, then what we provided was medical care, the resource mother to help them with any type of social issues that they may have. And also dental care was included in the project as well. The goal of the project was to, and has been continuing because the project is still going on. The goal is to help them to delay pregnancy, giving themselves a chance to get healthy, and to, if they do want a subsequent pregnancy, hopefully it will end with a better outcome than what they had with the pregnancy that got them into the program.
All of those parts, important pieces to the puzzle, but it seems the resource mother is the most important piece, the piece that makes everything work.
Once you talk to her, your mind just get clearer, you just know what you want to do, your next step. I mean, you can be down for a minute, but after you get through talking to her, you be back on your feet like it's nothing. And I think that since I was in the program, I would have never got that, because if I have nobody to talk to about a situation where you have these miscarriages and you keep losing these kids, and I want a family, so if I ain't have her to talk to, I don't know where I'd be, actually. I don't know what I would have did.
When I was growing up, things were different. I'm almost 62, so when I was growing up, things were a lot different. And I can remember being a teenager, I needed to talk. And I couldn't talk to my mom, but there were adult women in my life, like school teachers and a lady at the Y that I could talk to. So sometimes they just need to talk and just listening. I'm a good listener. I love to talk, but I like to listen too.
And the things she's seen and heard while working with the IPC project and Dr. Welch.
The hardest thing I've ever seen is a young mother who lost her baby. That's hard. I mean, to try and comfort them and a lot of times they don't have the money to bury the baby. But there is some hope, there's some assistance, you know, just trying to help them get through that. The postpartum depression after losing a baby, especially if you're a teenager and you're in school and you want to graduate, but you've lost your baby. And more than anything in the world, you want to have another baby, you know, because that void, that loss, that sense of loss is there. So that's hard, that's heartbreaking.
And while neither one of them will tell you they do much, what would Dr. Welch do if she could do anything in the world for these women she sees each and every day?
I would take all the teenagers who, when they have that first baby, I would provide them a resource mother so that they maybe would not do that again, and maybe delay pregnancy until they have what they want for their lives more in place than they did at the time.
Emotional words from a very strong woman. It's because of amazing people like Ethel Chapman and Dr. Welch that Natalie is on the road to recovery and that she has plans for the future.
My future, I plan on being a medical assistant, probably work for Jackson Hines, and then go back to school to get my RN degree. And I actually want to work with the neonatal intensive care unit at the university. So once I do that, I think that'd be my main goal, working with sick babies, watch them come from bad situations to better situations.
And babies? Does she want to put herself through the emotional pain of trying again?
Yes, I do. I know it's crazy, but I do. I just want one more. If I was blessed with one more child, I'd be so happy. I just want one more healthy baby, just chunky baby, just healthy. Eat a lot, smile, play, watch them with no complications, grow up and mature and do everything my little girl is doing, except all the rushing back and forth to the hospital and all the bad times. But I do want one more. I'll try years from now, though.
But from that bad place comes good. I'm standing in the same neonatal intensive care unit where Natalie Taylor hopes to one day be employed. This is the very same NICU where 2 of Natalie's children died. One lived and continues to brighten her life every day. Amazing stories tonight of strength, perseverance, and strong character. To find more about the things you've seen on tonight's show, like the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit or the IPC project at UMC, visit our website at www.southernremedy.org. We have plenty more to cover this week in our series on teen pregnancy in Mississippi. Tomorrow, we'll look at the facts and the myths. Is teen pregnancy a black problem? Is there money to be made by having baby after baby? Find out tomorrow right here on MPB. I'm Dr. Rick DeShazo. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Hush-a-bye, don't you cry. Go to sleep, little baby. When you wake, you shall have all the pretty little horses.
Support for Southern Remedy and Premature Parenthood comes from the University of Mississippi Medical Center. More information at www.umc.edu.
Support for the Premature Parenthood comes from the Healthy Teens for a Better Mississippi initiative. The Mississippi Department of Human Services and the Mississippi State Department of Health are working with community leaders in an effort to lower teen pregnancy rates and advance healthy choices among Mississippi teens. For more information, go to www.mdhs.state.ms.us or call 1-800-590-0818.